My name is Kaylee, and this is my story. I feel like my story really started when I was 15. I got into one of my first serious relationships, and everything literally changed in one night. Going from just wanting to make him happy in such an innocent way, going on dates or buying him ice cream or whatever it may be, to being pushed in the back of his car and him telling me the whole time that it was okay because he was going to marry me. He would rape me or hurt me or hit me, and I would go home and I wouldn't tell a soul, worthless. And then he would come back with flowers and memories from our first date, telling me that this was how it was supposed to be. That if he was going to marry me, so he was taking what was rightfully his because he was going to be my husband. And I think I knew that he was lying, but I didn't want to believe it. I don't think any young girl wants to believe when someone's telling them that their body's not theirs. I finally got out of the relationship and did something that most girls who go through abuse do. I ran to someone else. I ran to another boy. I thought that I could just keep going and trying to find someone to tell me my worth. I thought that that was the most important thing, was to find a boyfriend, to find someone who could complete me. I don't like what I went through. I don't like that I was raped. I don't like that I had many things taken from me. I don't like the decisions that I made. I'm thankful for my past. I never thought I'd be thankful. I want to show people that because of what they've been through, because of their addiction, because of the rape, because of the abortion, because of anything that has been done to them or that they have done, they have a power and a fire that others may not have, that can set so many people free. I want people to know that their story matters. I want people to know that there are other people across the world that need them. I want to continue to fight for those who've never been fought for. Someone once told me that free people. Your past is not a prison. No matter what has been done to you, you get to choose when your story begins.
While the world is sound asleep and too afraid of what might show up while you're dreaming. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. And every day you try to pick up all the pieces, all the memories, they somehow never leave you. Nobody sees you. Nobody will believe you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. There's a kind of love, there's a kind of love. You keep a cover over every single secret, so afraid if someone saw them they would leave. But somebody sees you. Somebody will never leave you. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. God only knows how it's killing you. But there's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. For the lonely, for the ashamed, the misunderstood and the ones to blame. What if we could start over? We could start over. We could start over. Oh, for the lonely, for the ashamed, the misunderstood and the ones to blame. What if we could start over? We could start over. We could start over. There's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows what you've been through. God only knows what they say about you. But God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows. God only knows where to find you. God only knows how to break through. God only knows the real you. There's a kind of love that God only knows.
Little girl lost. Thought no one loved her. Thought no one wanted her. Ran away from her castle. She was embraced by the devil and his false love, and through that embracing became a different person, became the harlot, became the queen of lies, the Jezebel. That's my life. Growing up, I just remember my dad just raging. I'd come home and my dad would be really angry, stressed out, and I really took it personal. And I think that I thought to myself that I must be unlovable. High school, noticed that the boys were paying attention to me, and since I wasn't getting any attention from my dad, I gravitated toward any compliment, any pass that was made at me. I met this boy in school that stole my heart. He told me if I slept with him, we'd get married, we'd make a life together, we'd have babies. And I completely took my entire heart and gave it to this boy. And when I found out that he was sleeping with several of my best girlfriends, it was such a shock to me. Left high school, heartbroken, moved out of my parents' home. The day after I graduated, I remember waving at my mom when I was 18 and my dad, and in the back of the car, knowing I'd never come back because I was done. I got out into the beautiful city of Minneapolis, tried to find a way to go to college, but I had to work 3 jobs to have my own place and buy a car. And I found like a new thing inside of me that if I had nice clothes, if I went out to the clubs, I could meet different men that liked me, and maybe I could meet a rich guy that would sweep me off my feet and take care of me like a prince would. And so my girlfriend and I started going out to the nightclubs, and we had a fake ID. And one night we walked in, these men walked up to us at the bar and bought us drinks, Rolex watches, designer clothes. I looked at my girlfriend. These guys have money. My girlfriend starts to like one of the men. I told my girlfriend, get that guy's money. And I think what this really was building inside me was this vendetta, this deep-seated, rooted unforgiveness towards my dad, towards that boy in school. And I just wanted revenge. I was going to prove that I could make it in my life. And money was going to be the answer. My girlfriend takes off with this guy, goes to Hawaii. I'm working my 3 jobs. She calls me up and says, listen, I am on the beach. I'm in a drop-top Corvette, and I'm on my cell phone, and you need to come out here. And even though I didn't have the guts to ask her, you know, what are you doing? I just kind of went with it. It was like an automatic walking into a dark doorway that I knew something wasn't right. But the lure of the possibility of having nice things and finally having money that I never had growing up, finally being someone important, overrode all those feelings of any caution, and it blew it to the wind. It's kind of like I had this ring that I put on and I couldn't take it off. One day I was on the stage and this man walks in, puts this couple $100 fan of money at my feet. He looked at me and said, "You are so intelligent. I really like you. In fact, I think I'm falling in love with you." He gave me everything that I needed to hear from my dad. My boyfriend was there, and he told me to break myself. "What did you say to me?" He said, "Break yourself. And that means give me all your money, dump your purse out on my lap." And I wasn't having it. And he proceeded to take me out by my hair. He choked me. He threw me on the porch on my knees, and he started kicking me. "This is pimpin', B. I'm just choking on my own blood. You're gonna work for me." Punching me in my face. Time it is, but what time it is now is you're gonna pay me. My nose broke, my ribs broke. It was like I was looking at the devil. The prince turned dark. And if you try to leave, I'll kill you. That night, it's like I died inside. Every time he hit me and choked me and raped me or put guns to my head, made me do things I never wanted to do, I just did it because I loved him, and because out of fear, because I knew if I didn't, that I would not live to see another day. I started stacking my money again, but the money wasn't the same. I came down with cancer, and a couple years later, lost all my hair, had chemotherapy, had Hodgkin's lymphoma. I started taking painkillers for my bone pain and my marrow, and I got addicted to painkillers, and that led into cocaine. And I remember laying there in my bed, looking in the mirror at myself, thinking that God was angry with me. I would get in the shower and I would scrub my body, and I would think, I'll never, ever be clean. I started freebasing cocaine. And one night, I just decided that I was just gonna get higher than I could, than I've ever been before, because I just wanted to erase all the pain of the cancer, the pain of my uncle, my sister, and my grandpa dying within 3 months of each other, the pain of losing all those years with my family up in the Midwest, the pain of losing all my friends, losing everything I had ever made. I took the hit of that coke, and I fell back. I went completely blind. It's like the whole room, the light that was on in that room turned dark. And I remember laying there, and I felt completely alone, and I got really, really scared, and I just instinctively knew that I was at death's door. I was in this dark, dark cave, and I knew I knew it was over. That's when I said, Jesus, please save me. I don't know if you're real, but I don't want to die. The ambulance came, and the doctor came up to me and he grabbed my hand. And he said, "You are lucky to be alive. You should be dead. God must be with you." And I knew that Jesus heard my prayer. And I laid there, and I had this peace come over me that was nothing like I'd ever felt in my entire life. And I knew God gave me a second chance. So that's what I'm called to do. To simply tell them, God loves you. No matter where you've been, no matter what you've done, no matter how deep, how dirty you feel, that there's redemption. You are white as snow when you accept Him into your heart. Little girl lost, thought no one loved her, thought no one wanted her, ran away from her castle. But God met her on that dark road. He said, "You can come home now. I'm right here, and I never left you." Redemption, redeemed, set free. That's my life, His love.
You are not hidden. There's never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not hopeless. Though you have been broken, your innocence stolen, I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. There is no distance that cannot be covered over and over. You're not defenseless. I'll be your shelter